What if holding on less tightly could make you happier? It's a simple question, but one that challenges our usual way of thinking. We often believe that having more, controlling more, and clinging tightly to what we have will bring us happiness and security. But what if the opposite were true? What if letting go was the key to finding real freedom and joy in life? This is the power of detachment, a concept that might seem counterintuitive at first, but has the potential to change your life in profound ways. In this video, we'll explore what detachment really means, why it's so important, and how you can start practicing it in your own life. Let's start by understanding attachment. Attachment is our tendency to cling to things, people, ideas, or outcomes. It's a natural human behavior rooted in our desire for stability and security. We get attached to our possessions, our relationships, our jobs, our beliefs, and even our self-image. On the surface, these attachments might seem harmless or even positive. After all, isn't it good to care deeply about things? The problem arises when our attachments become too strong or inflexible. When we're overly attached, we resist change, even when it's necessary or beneficial. We become anxious about losing what we have or not getting what we want. We might stay in situations that no longer serve us simply because we're afraid of letting go. This kind of attachment can lead to stress, fear, and a sense of being stuck or trapped in life. Think about how attachment might be affecting your daily life. Do you worry constantly about losing your job, even though you're a competent employee? Do you stay in a relationship that's no longer healthy because you're afraid of being alone? Do you hold on to possessions you don't need or use because getting rid of them feels too difficult? These are all signs that attachment might be holding you back. The downside of clinging goes beyond just feeling stuck. When we're too attached, we experience higher levels of stress and anxiety. We're constantly on edge, worrying about potential losses or changes. This state of chronic stress can have serious impacts on our physical and mental health, leading to problems like insomnia, high blood pressure, and depression. Attachment also limits our personal growth. When we're clinging tightly to what we know and have, we're less open to new experiences and opportunities. We might pass up chances to learn, grow, or try something new because we're too focused on maintaining the status quo. This can lead to a sense of stagnation in life, where we feel like we're not moving forward or reaching our full potential. In our relationships, too much attachment can be just as harmful. When we're overly attached to a partner, friend, or family member, we might become possessive or controlling. We might struggle with jealousy or fear of abandonment. This can put a strain on the relationship, pushing away the very people we're trying to hold on to. So if attachment can cause so many problems, what's the alternative? This is where the concept of detachment comes in. Detachment doesn't mean not caring or becoming cold and aloof. Instead, it's about learning to care without clinging, to love without possessing, to live without being controlled by our desires or fears. Detachment is the practice of loosening our grip on things, people, and outcomes. It's about recognizing that change is a natural part of life, and that trying to control everything only leads to suffering. When we practice detachment, we learn to enjoy what we have without being afraid of losing it. We learn to put in our best effort towards our goals without being overly fixated on the outcome. This might sound challenging, and it can be. Our culture often encourages attachment, telling us that more is always better and that we should strive to control every aspect of our lives. But the benefits of practicing detachment are profound. When we learn to detach, we experience less stress and anxiety. We're no longer constantly worried about losing what we have or not getting what we want. This leads to a greater sense of peace and contentment in our daily lives. We become more resilient, better able to handle life's ups and downs without being thrown off balance. Detachment also increases our flexibility and adaptability. When we're not rigidly attached to one way of doing things, we can more easily adjust to new situations. This is a crucial skill in today's fast-paced, ever-changing world. It allows us to navigate challenges more smoothly and take advantage of new opportunities as they arise. Perhaps most importantly, detachment gives us a greater sense of freedom. When we're not bound by our attachments, we have more space to explore, grow, and discover who we truly are. We can make choices based on what's truly best for us rather than out of fear or a need to cling to the familiar. But how do you know if you're too attached? There are several signs to look out for. One is constant worry about losing something or someone. If you find yourself frequently anxious about potential losses, whether it's your job, a relationship, or a possession, this could be a sign of unhealthy attachment. Another sign is difficulty accepting change. Change is a natural part of life, but when we're too attached, we resist it fiercely. This resistance can manifest as anger, denial, or intense anxiety when faced with shifts in our circumstances. Feeling stuck or unable to move forward is another common indicator of excessive attachment. If you feel like you're in a rut, unable to make progress towards your goals or dreams, it might be because you're too attached to your current situation, even if it's not serving you well. The idea of detachment isn't just a philosophical concept, it's backed by psychological research. Studies have shown that people who practice detachment tend to have better mental health outcomes. They experience lower levels of anxiety and depression and higher levels of overall life satisfaction. This makes sense when we consider how attachment affects our brain chemistry. When we're constantly attached and worried, our bodies produce high levels of stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, this can lead to a range of health problems. On the other hand, when we practice detachment, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode that promotes relaxation and healing. So how can we start practicing detachment in our daily lives? The first step is awareness. Start paying attention to your attachments. What are the things, people, or outcomes that you cling to most tightly? What are you most afraid of losing? Simply becoming aware of these attachments is the first step towards loosening their hold on you. Mindfulness techniques can be incredibly helpful in practicing detachment. Mindfulness is about observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. When we practice mindfulness, we start to see that our thoughts and emotions are not facts. They're just passing experiences. This can help us detach from negative thought patterns and reactions. Another practical step is to practice gradual exposure to letting go. Start small, maybe with a physical object you've been holding onto but don't really need. Notice how it feels to let it go. As you become more comfortable with this process, you can apply it to bigger things. Reframing your thoughts and expectations is also crucial. Instead of thinking, "I need this to be happy," try shifting to, "I can enjoy this while it's here, but I'll be okay without it too." This subtle shift in perspective can make a big difference in how you relate to things and people in your life. When it comes to relationships, practicing detachment can actually lead to stronger, healthier connections. It's important to understand that detachment in relationships doesn't mean becoming cold or distant. Instead, it's about creating healthy boundaries and recognizing that you and your loved ones are separate individuals. When we're detached in a healthy way, we can love without trying to possess or control. We can support our loved ones without feeling responsible for their happiness or problems. This leads to more authentic, balanced relationships where both parties feel free to be themselves. Detachment in relationships also means being okay with the natural ebb and flow of connections. Friendships may change over time, romantic partners may come and go. When we're not desperately clinging to every relationship, we can appreciate each connection for what it is, without expectations or demands. In the realm of career and personal goals, detachment can be a powerful tool for success. It might seem counterintuitive. Surely being deeply attached to our goals would make us more likely to achieve them, right? But in reality, too much attachment to outcomes can hold us back. When we're overly attached to a specific outcome, we become anxious and inflexible. We might miss opportunities because they don't fit our exact vision. We might give up if things don't go exactly as planned. But when we practice detachment, we can focus on putting in our best effort without being obsessed with the result. This doesn't mean not caring about our goals. It means caring deeply about the process, about doing our best work, while being open to however things unfold. It means being willing to adapt our plans if needed, rather than rigidly sticking to one path. Detachment also helps us handle setbacks and failures more effectively. When we're not tying our self-worth to specific achievements, we can view setbacks as learning opportunities rather than devastating blows. This resilience is crucial for long-term success in any field. As we practice detachment, we often find that it opens up space for personal growth in ways we never expected. When we're not clinging tightly to who we think we are or what we think we need, we become more open to new experiences and perspectives. Detachment allows us to step out of our comfort zones more easily. We become more willing to try new things, to meet new people, to explore new ideas. This openness to experience is a key factor in personal growth and life satisfaction. Moreover, as we let go of our attachments, we often discover inner strengths we didn't know we had. We find that we're more resilient than we thought, more capable of handling challenges. This builds our confidence and self-reliance, creating a positive cycle of growth and self-discovery. Of course, practicing detachment isn't always easy. There are common challenges that many people face when trying to let go. One of the biggest is fear. Fear of loss, fear of the unknown, fear of missing out. Our attachments often feel like safety nets, and letting go can feel scary. Another challenge is societal pressure. We live in a culture that often equates success and happiness with accumulation of wealth, possessions, achievements, relationships. Going against this grain by practicing detachment can feel uncomfortable or even wrong at first. It's important to remember that these challenges are normal and expected. Detachment is a skill that takes time and practice to develop. Be patient with yourself as you learn. Remember that the goal isn't to detach from everything in your life. It's to find a healthy balance where you can care deeply without being controlled by your attachments. As you start to incorporate detachment into your daily life, you might find it helpful to create small rituals or reminders for yourself. This could be as simple as a daily meditation practice or a reminder on your phone to pause and let go of stress. Some people find it helpful to keep a journal where they can reflect on their attachments and progress in letting go. Remember, the practice of detachment isn't about reaching a perfect state of non-attachment. It's an ongoing process, a way of relating to life that you'll continue to refine and develop over time. Some days will be easier than others, and that's okay. As you continue on this path, you might start to notice connections between detachment and other aspects of personal growth and well-being. Many spiritual and philosophical traditions have long recognized the importance of letting go. You might find that practicing detachment naturally leads you to explore concepts like mindfulness, self-compassion, or living in the present moment. Detachment also plays a crucial role in finding meaning and purpose in life. When we're not overly attached to external validations or specific outcomes, we can tune into our inner wisdom more easily. We become more attuned to what truly matters to us, rather than what we think should matter based on external expectations. This shift in perspective can have ripple effects beyond our personal lives. As we become more detached, we often become more compassionate and understanding towards others. We recognize that everyone is on their own journey, dealing with their own attachments and challenges. This can lead to more harmonious relationships and a greater sense of connection to our wider community. Let's recap some of the key benefits of practicing detachment. By letting go, we can reduce stress and anxiety in our lives. We become more flexible and adaptable, better able to navigate life's challenges. We create space for personal growth and new experiences. Our relationships can become more authentic and balanced, and we can pursue our goals with passion while staying open to unexpected opportunities. Remember, starting a practice of detachment doesn't mean you have to make drastic changes overnight. Begin small. Pay attention to your attachments. Practice letting go in small ways. Be patient and compassionate with yourself as you learn and grow. The journey of detachment is ongoing. There will always be new attachments forming, new challenges to navigate. But with practice, you'll develop the skills to handle these with greater ease and grace. You'll find a new sense of freedom and peace as you learn to engage fully with life without being controlled by it. As you move forward from this video, consider what one small step you could take today towards practicing detachment. It could be as simple as noticing an attachment you hadn't been aware of before, or practicing letting go of a minor irritation. Remember, each small step is progress. Thank you for exploring this important topic. May your journey of detachment bring you greater freedom, peace, and joy in your life.